Welcome, dear viewers, to World Folktale Treasure. Today, we journey into the mesmerizing world of the Arabian Nights, where magic and mystery intertwine. Prepare yourselves for the tale of the Enchanted King and the Wicked Queen. Long ago, in a land far beyond the horizon, a wise sultan wandered through unfamiliar territory. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the vast desert, he came upon a sight that made him pause in awe. Before him stood an ancient palace, its once golden domes now tarnished by the passage of time. But what truly caught the Sultan's attention was the lake beside it, shimmering under the fading light, filled with fish of the most peculiar colors. Driven by curiosity, the Sultan ventured into the dilapidated structure. Within what was once a grand throne room, he encountered a sight that chilled him to the bone. Seated on a dusty throne was a young king, but this was no ordinary monarch. His body, from the waist down, was turned to white marble. With a heart heavy with compassion, the Sultan asked the young king to tell his tale. And so, with tears brimming in his eyes, the half-marble king began his tragic story. "My father passed when I was young," the king said, his voice laden with sorrow. "At the age of 18, I inherited his vast kingdom. Soon after, I married my cousin, a woman I loved with all my heart. I believed our love was true and eternal. But, alas, I was gravely mistaken." The king's voice dropped to a whisper. "One fateful afternoon, while resting in the garden, I overheard my wife's maids whispering. 'Our mistress no longer loves the king,' one said. 'She is an enchantress, plotting his demise.' The truth struck me like a thunderbolt," the king continued, his face twisted with pain. "My beloved was a sorceress, and her love had turned to hate. When I mortally wounded a slave she held dear, her grief turned into terrible wrath." The Sultan listened intently as the king recounted how his wife had built a small palace in the garden, where she wept and mourned the dying slave for 2 long years, keeping him alive through dark magic. "When I suggested she let go of her sorrow," the king said, his voice trembling, "her rage was unleashed. With a wicked spell, she transformed me into this, half-man, half-marble, cursed to live in agony for eternity." The Sultan's gaze shifted to the window, where the strange lake shimmered under the fading light. "And what of the lake?" he asked. "The lake," the king whispered, "is all that remains of my once prosperous kingdom. The colored fish you see are my people, transformed by her magic, doomed to swim endlessly in its waters. Every dawn, my wife visits me to unleash her fury, beating me with a whip of buffalo hide." The Sultan's jaw clenched with resolve. This injustice could not stand. He formed a bold plan to end the sorceress's wicked reign. At the break of dawn, the Sultan made his way to the sorceress's palace. There, he found the lifeless slave, preserved by dark magic. With a heavy heart but unwavering determination, the Sultan ended the slave's tortured existence. Then, he lay on the bed where the slave had once been, waiting for the enchantress to arrive. When the sorceress entered, she whispered to what she believed was her beloved slave. The Sultan, disguising his voice, responded as the slave might have. Through his clever deception, he convinced the enchantress to undo her spells, freeing the young king and his people from their cursed forms. But the tale does not end there. When the enchantress returned, proud of her perceived victory, the Sultan revealed himself. With one swift, decisive stroke, he ended her dark reign forever. And so, dear viewers, our tale comes to an end. The young king was restored, his people freed from their watery prison, and his kingdom reborn. This tale reminds us that even in the darkest moments, hope endures, and with wisdom and courage, even the most powerful of dark magics can be overcome. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey. If you enjoyed this tale from Arabian Nights, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to World Folktale Treasure. Until our next adventure, remember, every culture has a story to tell, and every story has a lesson to teach. Farewell, and may your own story be filled with wonder.